Welcome to Yeshiva Daf. She is sponsored by Yechezkel. We're holding over the Zara Daf Lamed Beis. We're starting the fourth line in the two dots. It says the Gemara. The end of the third line. Yechezkel Hadrayoni. It says in the Mishnah, Yechezkel Hadrayoni also has a problem of the wine of a goy. The Mishnah says that the Yechezkel Hadrayoni versus Luvim. They all have a din of Isur, Visur, Misur, and not. So Maya Joyoni, what is this clay, which is called Adayoni? It's the clay of the Caesar Adrianus. They took a karka, a fresh land, and nobody ever worked in it. And they planted their vines. So the vines were very strong because it was the first time ever using this karka. They put the wine into white barrels. And the barrels sucked in the wine. And then they broke the different barrels. They broke the barrels into small pieces, into small shreds. The soldiers took it with them. Wherever they reached, they put it into water, and that they took out the absorption of the wine and they drank it. Meaning, these pieces of clay were absorbed very much with a very strong wine. When you put it into water, that went into the water and made the water have a taste of wine. Our wine, our first processing of the wine, is like a third time when you do the cheres. The wine is so strong that when you use it for the third time, it tastes like our first time wine. So we say you're not allowed to enjoy these cheres because of the wine. What happens if I'm not using the wine at all? What I'm doing is, he's taking the shred and he uses that to hold the bed. The bed is, the leg missing from the bed. He's putting a piece of clay to hold the bed. What's the question? I want this clay, but I don't want it for the wine. I want it for other reasons. I want it for the clay itself. I don't care so much about the wine. Can I still enjoy it because the wine is absorbed into it? That's called meaning you want this to stay here, but not for the wine itself, but for the clay. It's a asur mutter. Meisivei, dardurin is small leginim, small receptacles of wine. Ve'arukvois, which is made out of leather, shav kechovim, yain she'yisrael konus be'em asur b'shtiyu muter ba'no. If you have wine of Yisrael in there, they absorb a little bit of the wine if you can't drink it. Because it's already more of a chok as we saw in Shabbos. So Shimshon ben Gudel testified in front of the son of Ram Gamliel. He told Ram Gamliel, did drink from it. You're old, you could drink from it. Didn't agree with him. He said, no, you can't drink from it. That was part one. We'll get back to that in a moment. If you have these different patches of different receptacles of a goy, and now they use it to make it like shtichim. The translator shtichim is carpets, but here it means so there's saddles that you put on the donkey. Don't use it for the donkey. Why? Because it has in it wine. It's absorbed of the wine of the goy. It says over here that why do I want these carpets? Not for the wine. I want it to put on the donkey. So why is it why should it be also? You see from here that you want it for other purposes, it's still also. Similar to the time according to you, why according to you, why can I buy any barrels of a goy? Why do you say I can't use these patches, those leather ones, but I could buy a kankan? We said before, you buy a thing of a guy, if you put wine into it, it's a problem. You didn't put wine in, I can buy it. Why can you buy it? In other words, it says here, what's the problem? The problem is that maybe this is a leather patch. So leather is very easy to use. How to use? Let's say his own flask got torn. He takes a piece of the leather of this and puts it by him. That's the problem. Right? Is not also. Because if I'm not using it for the wine, it's not a problem. But here I have a problem that you may come to use it for the wine. How? I'll take a piece of the leather, put it onto a flask that I already have. That's the answer to the Gemara. So the one it says it's also my stock and carrying the shorus. So why can you say it's motor? Why can I buy barrels? Which means, so there's a long place over here to come and explain what does it mean, what does it mean? But the way the push shot over here, or at least the first shot of Rashi, of Tosis, which is the Chur, how Rashi learns it, says when I have wine of a goy, which is actually seen, then it's asur. So what happened with the Hadrayoni, with the Cheres Hadrayoni, and what we mentioned before, Brian Gamliel, then we talk about clay that you could see the wine. The wine is so clear on the clay. You put it into water, it comes out. That's called yesh tabein. By the flasks made out of leather, these flasks, you don't see the wine. The wine may come out, they're absorbed in there and they may be pulled out. That's not considered to be it's not considered to be bein. And therefore, we're not machmir to say that it's asur al dei dovar. And the only problem is he absorbed. Tosis is a very long case of even two pshatim, but he ends and says that's like today. You can take a kli of a goy, and even if it has in it iser, for example, you have a pot of a goy that you cooked with it basar v'chalav. Can I use it to put into it something dry? Answer is yes, because we're saying the absorption is not the problem over here, unless you talk about a wine that absorbs it. The problem, and I don't know the problem unless it's Bain. This is not Bain. Says the Gemara brought we said the story that Shimon ben Gudo told the son of Gamliel, he told him that he drank from an akoy and nobody agreed with it. So what we're meaning, you have wine coming in these flasks of a goy. Also, b'shtiyo mutar and I'll drink it. I'll enjoy it. He Shushu ben Gudo. One understands right now. It's the same person we mentioned before. Shushu ben Gudo. If Nebnoi showing Gamliel al Gamliel, he told Gamliel sheshasu imenu be'akoy that he drank from it in akoy. The oiduloi says oiduloi. Says he didn't agree with him. So did they agree with Gamliel or not? In this case. So what it says that he didn't agree with him is his friends, the other rabbanim. Hoiduloi means the gears should be hoiduloi. The son agreed. If I say more good if you look carefully, in the previous case it says good with aleph. In this case it's good with ayin. Two different stories, two different edus, very similar names. Not a contradiction because two different people said it. The fascinating traces over here in the bottom. We're going to which Ram Gamaliel we're talking about. Why? Because, as Tosis points out, there was many Ram Gamaliels throughout the generations. So Tosis says that this Gamaliel over here is the grandfather of Rebbe. And his son was Reb Shimon Gamliel and Reb Chanina ben Gamliel. That's what he brings. And then there is another Reb Shimon Gamliel. Remember, we had the story that he said at the time the Churban and his whole family was destroyed except him and his cousin. That's the father of this Reb Gamliel, meaning the great grandfather of Rebbe. So we have a few generations of Gamliel, Reb Shimon Gamliel, Reb Shimon Gamliel, etc. It says the one Oiris Labuvin. It said in the Mishnah, you're not allowed to use Oiris Labuvin. What is that? There's a hole next to the heart, and it has the shape of aruba, which is circular. And what they used to do, the Avoda Zara, one of the Zara is you open the heart of the animal while it's alive, you pull out the heart, and you do a krov. That was the type of Avoda Zara. Yeshal kordam, if there's a little blood in it, there's a little piece of blood, so then it's asur, because then clearly the heart came out while the animal was still alive. When the base of the base, ain't no kordam. If there's no kordam, mutter. Why? Because then it came out when he was dead, and then it's not avodah zara. It's only if you didn't salt it. Even if you don't see the blood, maybe there was blood over there, you can't see it because he salted it. Says only if it's circular, not if it's long. We pass it this way, it has to be round. You want to tell me they're arguing? Who said they're arguing on that? Only my we know. Who cares if they're arguing or not? Who cares? I'm telling you, the halacha is like Rav Shimon Gamliel. So you ask me, is someone arguing? And if they're arguing, it's still be halacha Rav Shimon Gamliel. Amalei Gemara is more teteh. That is an expression. It says, Rashi says it over here. It's a question. You tell me things to say for no reason. You tell me halacha. Masha, they're arguing. So, are they arguing? And you say, what do you care? So you're just saying words for no reason? Gemara to Gemara, you're saying a Gemara is more to the edge just to sing a song and with no purpose of what you say? Right? Okay, says the Gemara. Meat by a goy, it's mutter. Matana, who said it? It's like a blozo. So what's the case of the Mishnah? If the meat, they killed an animal, slaughtered an animal, they took the meat into the goy's place. While we still went in, on the process of going in, there's no Isser. But once it was there and came out, so there what you say is that this meat was used for the Zara. So that's why I need to, when it comes out, because of the Zara. When it goes in, it does not become of the Zara. So well, that's not like a blozo. When you slaughter the animal, when you do shechita, that's already of the Zara. It goes out as dinner zichemesim. My time yivshad the lake at the kravis of his kachavim. It becomes an avodah zara. Segmo mani Rabbi Yehuda Seri. That the shita Rabbi Yehuda Seri. The Rabbi Yehuda Seri oimer. Minayin that the kravis of his kachavim shivetalim boil. How do you know that a korban of the zara has the din of tumo? Shreima veitzamdu lebal peor v'yoichlu ziv chemesim. The joint bal peor has the din of zichemesim. Maziv chemesi, mameis v'tam be'oil, after curves of this kachavim v'tam be'oil, has the din of tumo soil. So today's answer over here, Yamash over here, that's a sheet of Yehuda ben Seir. Does Rabbanan argue? Rabbanan disagree with Yehuda ben Seir? And today's different, because it sounds like it's only one on the Amar. Today's in the end, what's to say that everybody agrees it's Asur, but the Bachlekes is, does it have a din of tumo or not? Rabbanan say it's not Tomei. Yehuda ben Seir holds it is Tomei. People that go to the fair, where they have the Zara, where they are now to deal with them. When he's going to the fair, you're not allowed to deal with him. He's going to go and worship over the Zara and say thank you to his God, to his the Zara, for the business that he got. Once he came back, you can do business with him. My dad, he's not going anymore to the Zara, so it's over. Yisrael that goes to Tafus. Why? Maybe he'll do tshuva. He won't go. If he went and he was there, he's ready also. Why? Once he got connected to it, very hard for him to leave. As you mentioned on Shabbos, Yisrael, when he gets involved in Averis, he can be worse than a goy. It says even when he goes, it's Asur. I'm not talking about Yisrael Mumar. He's already, unfortunately, converted to Christianity, so he's for sure going. So that's why he's also both ways. Get you to the two doubts of this daf. He's going to this fair. His brayso holds is mutter both ways. He goes as mutter, comes back as asur. Why is he so asur in this case? Maybe he was doing business with Avoda Zara. And therefore the money is asur because the money is the money of Avoda Zara. Or kechovim nami ne'eretz kechovim zovin. Tomatoes kechovim yikabeh. So also a guy maybe he sold over the Zara, and the money he has over the Zara. El kechovim meaning glima zovin chama zovin. Say no. Maybe he was saying there with the Zara. Maybe he bought clothing. Maybe he bought a wine or a donkey. You saw nami name Amor glima zovin chama zovin. Maybe he bought other things. He said, more by Yisrael, why are you going to the fear of the Goy? Do business here with the Jews, with your fellow Jews. Elamai, you want something the Jews don't have. You're probably looking for the Zara. Now so this price holds. We're talking about a case that's not mamish over the Zara mamish. Maybe one more sentence way to finish this now. Was the boy mutarim? They come back. The mutar. They're not connected. They're not coming as a group. When you have a group of going coming back for the Yerid, so then they're probably going to go back to business. It's basically a company. The company, you're going back, and then you have a problem with the Zara. Okay, so this will finish this now.